Hey crocheters, Amelia here, and today I'm going to show you quite simply how to make your own crochet sweatband. This is a perfect project if you just want something quick. It's perfect for gifting to your athletic friends or for using yourself. And all you need is some medium weight cotton and whatever hook is going to go best with that cotton. I'm using a G hook, and this project will go by very quickly, and it's perfect for learning how to crochet a really great ribbing if you haven't done that yet. Let's get started. To get started making our sweatband, I'm going to start with my hook, which is a G or a 4.5 millimeter, and I'm going to start with my medium weight cotton, and I am just going to chain 11 stitches after making a slip knot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you can get your starting chain done really quick. Now I'm going to start the first row of slip stitches. This means that I will skip the first chain from the hook, and I'm going to insert my hook in the next chain, bring a loop up, and then immediately bring it through the loop that I had. And I'm going to slip stitch all the way down my row for a total of 10 slip stitches because we skipped one of our beginning chains. When you get to the end of row 1, we're going to chain 1 and turn. Every row needs to have a turning chain of just 1 stitch. And for all of the rest of our rows, starting with row 2, you are going to keep slip stitching, but you're only going to slip stitch in the back loop. So slip stitching in the back loop only and skipping our turning chain. So this is what that looks like. Again, you're going to immediately go through the loop that you had and do this with all of the remaining stitches. So we should be keeping 10 stitches in each row. And since the slip stitches can be a little hard to count because the turning chain looks so much like a stitch, I would highly recommend you count your stitches for this project at least every couple of rows so that you don't start to get off count. So now I'm all the way through. Let me go ahead and do that with row 3. Do my turning chain, turn. I'm skipping my turning chain, and I'm going to do a slip stitch in the back loop only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. Very good. So this is what the edge will start to look like. You can see the ribbing starting to take shape to make our nice stretchy cuff. Continue making the correct number of rows, doing this exact same method, and all the rows are going to be the same, and I'll come back to show you how to seam up your cuff. Okay, here is our nice stretchy band. All the rows are done, and normally you would turn to start the new row, but instead we're going to leave it without turning. We're going to fold the other end up in front of it like this, and you're going to take your hook and work through the one of the loops on the opposite side just to get yourself started. Work through that loop and then put your hook back through and bring through your working yarn, okay? Now, to create the seam that's gonna make your seam as hidden as possible, you're gonna want to work through a loop and work through the back loop only of the edge that you've been working on this whole time. So work through the back loop all the way down the seam. And what this does is it's going to set up the ridges so that on the other side it looks like the pattern is fairly unbroken. I'm going to keep working all the way to the very edge of the work, and then you get to bind off. So just go ahead and cut your yarn And at this point, you want to completely bind it off, and next you're just going to weave in your ends. But first I am going to turn it right side out, and if you look, the ribbing looks very, very seamless because of the way we put it together. So I tried this out a few different ways, and that's as seamless as I could get it. So at this point, just weave in your ends. Here I'm using a tapestry needle. The goal is to hide them as well as possible in the ribbing, and also obviously you want to keep them from coming back out. And then you can just trim your excess, and at that point you're all done. Now I did turn my band inside out, so I'm going to turn it back right side out now that the ends are in, and that's how it looks. Thanks so much for looking at this project, making this project with me. I really hope that you enjoy using it.